All right. So apparently at UFC 303, Michael Page is stepping in against Ian Garry. It's either going to be at UFC 303 or sometime in the future, but I think it would just be a good addition to any card because obviously Colby Covington, after talking all that trash towards Ian Garry and trying to start that thing, even though I don't know if Ian Garry has enabled comments on his Instagram yet or not, Ian Garry, whether you agree with his lifestyle choices or not, he's not the kind of guy that's just going to back down. So you got to give him some credit in that regard. So you know what? Ian stood his ground, and apparently Colby's not signing it, and Michael Venom Page would be more than willing to step in because those guys have had some back and forth as Michael Venom Page was preparing to fight Kevin Holland, and MVP took Kevin Holland to school, debt-free. And I think Michael Venom Page's style of dipping in, throwing strikes, moving out of range is it's effective in those echelons of the UFC. Now, as he moves up the ranks, is he going to cut it? Maybe. The only thing that I would say for Michael Page, if he really wants to beat Ian Garry, is going to be watch your leg kicks because we all saw how he got knocked out in Bellator. He was moving in. A guy was smart and kicked the legs, took away his mobility. And as he was going down, hit a really nice uppercut. Now, I don't know if that's going to be allowed in the UFC rule standard. I was never too into Bellator. I did watch some fights there just to see who was coming to the UFC from Bellator, like Michael Chandler. But as we're seeing it right now, I think Michael Page, watching his Bellator days, that downfall moment, leg kicks, and also, even though Ian Garry is not a wrestler by much means, he's more of a stand-up fighter. I really think that if Michael Page is serious about moving to championship status, he's got to work on his wrestling because you're going to have some really wrestle-heavy guys. Colby Covington, I could see, would want to face Michael Page probably because Colby could take down Michael Page, and with that background of wrestling at D1, it's going to probably be an easy night at the office if someone like Colby Covington was able to take a fight and keep him down on the ground. But first, we got to make sure Colby Covington gets in. And, side note, I'm super disappointed in Colby Covington. He used to be a really funny gimmick to me. I always knew that he was playing an act, but when he stirs up stuff and then backs out of fights, I could see why it's being hard to be a fan of this dude. But back to the business. Should Michael Page have faced Jeff Neal first to see that? I think, honestly, that would have been probably a better option. Maybe Michael Page versus Joaquin Buckley, because those guys, around that ranking area is where he should be shooting, and Buckley lost to Kevin Holland. So, I think that Ian Garry is a bit of a toss-up because I know Ian Garry's got some merit. Even though it was a super close fight with Jeff Neal, people are acting like he's total donkey do in the octagon, but that's not true at all. The guy's got some pretty good moments, especially his KO against Daniel Rodriguez. That was very slick. I just feel like this fight is probably going to be better than we anticipate. I see it going the distance. Now, do I think that this fight could go either way? Yeah. If Ian Garry gets really good at kicking legs, he's going to give Michael Venom Page a really hard night at the office. But off the top of my head, my early prediction, if this fight goes through, Michael Page probably wins by decision. Or if he could get a finish, maybe he gets the finish. But that's always subject to change. This is a much closer fight than I think we realize. But boy, oh boy, do I just hope it goes through and it gets finalized. And if it's at UFC 303, I'm going to be watching it. This is awesome. Peace out.